looking to elevate your brand's presence online? In this video, we're gonna be showing you guys how to take flat lay product photography to really elevate your brand's product photos. After doing this, we're gonna be showing you guys an alternative to Photoshop called autoRetouch, which is an AI editing platform that's designed to seamlessly cut out backgrounds and get your product photos right. So if you're a new visitor to this channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and turn on those post notification bells to be alerted of future video drops. On this channel, our mission is to build brands that impact the world from the ground up. And if you're watching this video and want to follow along, make sure you guys check out the links in the descriptions to all the resources that we mentioned here to help you get started on the right track. Joining me in this video today is the man Yayan, who has been a creator for his entire life, and he's also a Photoshop expert who's going to be diving into the nitty-gritty of the details associated with how you can do the most that you can with the resources that you have at your disposal. Yayan, my man.
How you doing?
Thank you for coming by and for joining me in this video. I know you were like, man, I don't know if I want to.
I definitely got forced into this, but thank you for the kind words anyway.
It's gonna be pretty cool, man. I think you got some nice background, some lights.
Yeah, we're gonna work doing some photos today. Get a few flat lay on the floor with the concrete background and the white background. See how it goes.
Let's do it, man. Let's get this thing started.
All right. So which shirt should we take a picture of first?
I think we should start with this one right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more color.
Perfect.
We're gonna do it on the concrete first?
Yeah, concrete first. Cool. So we're gonna set up the lighting first.
All right. I think I see some like little twigs here. I think
yeah,
maybe we should do a little broom. Clean up your spot first.
So just bringing these lights down up first so we can get them in the right position. Both just angled diagonally down.
Get your handy dandy broomstick. I've been working on the railroad.
What is this video?
How to clean your set.
Okay, just bring this light down. So this is the lighting that we want for our product photos.
So you got these two lights here.
We're just gonna test this out and see if we can get the correct lighting on it. Just gonna get this first shirt.
Before we put these shirts down, we also steamed them. So get a nice little steamer.
Get a nice little lint roller, even though this one is dirty.
That one is a little dirty. I think somebody ate nachos next to it. I think it was me.
It definitely was you. So then when you're putting this shirt down, you just want to make sure that there's no creases in it.
I think it's an art to do these photos, honestly. It takes an understanding of how you're gonna have to not just lay out the product, but the lighting. So we're using a concrete background, which is gonna be a little easier to do, but when you do the white background, I think that's the more challenging one, but this still looks pretty good.
So now I'm gonna grab the camera and the ladder. Just using the ladder so we can get the best angle of the pic, so I can be right above it. So then you just want to take a few test shots and see how the focus is. Disclaimer, I don't take pictures.
This is the Canon 60 Mark II, which is a camera that I got, but he's not used to shooting on these ones.
So right now I've got my ISO at 400, which is what I mostly use when I'm doing product photography, as I've shot these shirts before. Here, as you can see, we've got all the pictures that we took. So you can see the lighting wasn't good and the camera settings there, so we switched it over. If you go on here, just make sure everything's in focus. Everything looks good to me on this one. So now we got the right picture for the Tomorrow's Never Guaranteed shirt. Let's get a new one under here, see if we can get a second shot.
This is a pretty big shirt.
Yeah, this shirt just takes up a lot of real estate.
So when you're taking product photos, that's a tip right there. Make sure you guys are using the smaller size shirts, like a medium, to do your product photography. That way you don't have to zoom out and expand your footprint.
As we found the settings on the last one were pretty good, we're just gonna keep the same settings on this.
I do like the way you set up these lights. It actually worked. You don't give yourself enough credit.
Okay, let's take a look at these. So as you can see here, we've got a few good pictures. Everything's in focus, which is good. So now we've got a couple pictures with these shirts. Let's switch over to the white background and see how they look.
What's like the positives of using this white background in your opinion?
Just having the solid background, I feel like, is the professional standard of most photos that you can see with brand photography. Especially having this setup, it just makes everything so much easier, especially if you're taking photos all the time, you're releasing new products. Just having this in the studio is a great advantage.
That way you don't have to Photoshop as much, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You just have your stuff already set up.
So now we have the white backdrop set up. We're gonna put the lighting in the correct position again. Just moving it back to the same place it was before.
Nice little dome effect. Kind of like two suns. Two suns, one
way
shirt.
you could say it. So then just grab the ladder and put it back. One tip when you're working with these, is always take your shoes off so that you don't get dirty. So then you can reuse it. So then just laying out the shirt exactly the same way you did the first time.
You did a good job with like no shadows, man. This is cool. So the key is to try to do it if you have these two big type of lights that you can create this effect with. Since we're in a closed set where it doesn't have sunlight coming in, it reduces the amount of shadows that's around the t-shirt, so it's a little bit easier to control.
And we'll definitely link these lights in the description so you guys can take a look at them and maybe even like a couple cheaper alternatives. So now using the white background, you just want to take a look at your settings to see if you need to make any adjustments. So I'm just going to adjust and see if that works better. Looks great. So moving on to the next shirt. Creases out as much as you can. Looks good. As you can see, you got the feet of the lights in here, but that doesn't matter because we're going to be using autoRetouch to get rid of those. Yep, good to go.
I think that's why it's also important to keep the shirts and the product dimensions similar, because especially if you were going to boom pole it with like a setup that's going to be automatic, like you just snap and take photos of stuff. It helps if everything is in the same area and you lay it in the general area so you don't have to reposition the camera each time that you're shooting another product. So that'll save you a lot of time on its own for product photography, is having a system in place that allows you to just drop stuff, photograph it, and then send it to Photoshop or autoRetouch in this case.
So now we've finished taking the pictures, we're going to get the SD card from the camera and import all of these into our library so we can stick them in autoRetouch and see how it works. Can't find the hole. Ironic. So as you can see, I've now gone through all the pictures that we just took in the shoot, and I've picked out the 4 images that I like the most. So we have the get what you focus on the concrete background, tomorrow's never guaranteed. I think we're gonna work with this one right now. So you can find the link to autoRetouch in the description below, where it will take you to this website and you can test it out for yourself, absolutely free. So as soon as I'm here, I'm gonna go on to create a new workflow from scratch, and then I'm gonna go and find my product images, and I'm gonna use this tomorrow's never guaranteed. And then for this, I want to remove my background, so I'm gonna drag this onto here. As you can see, it also gives you some other options from skin retouch, set on canvas. I can add some ground shadows, extract patch. I can mess with the color palette, edit the file name, crop a face if I had a model in there. I can trim it to the content and then also export. So as you can see, it only took around 5 seconds to process in here. And I've selected only clothing because that's all I have in my picture. And to preview it here, all the background is gone. The wheels that we were worried about are gone as well. And if you go around the edges of the shirt, you can see it's done an amazing job at removing the background. So from here, because I want to put this into Photoshop, I'm gonna create a vector path. I'm going to drag export in here, and then while that's processing, I'm gonna select PSD. So then to save this, I'm gonna click run, and somehow it's only cost me 10 cents to get my image. So now it's created the exact process that I would use this for. Say if I was taking 50 images of all the shirts that I have, then I'd be able to drop these in here and it would run the same workflow for each of them. So I'm gonna drop in the same image into here, and I'm gonna let that process. So then in about 20 seconds, this has now loaded as my PSD file. Click download. And then as you can see, I have my PSD file. So I'm gonna open that up straight into Photoshop. And then if I hide these layers, you can see that the background has been removed and there is nothing that I would change. Something else I found useful for my product photos would be the ghost mannequin as well. As you can see, it gives you some options here to try it out for yourself if you haven't taken your pictures already. It allows you to take a picture of the front of your t-shirt that you would want on the mannequin. Then also you would turn your shirt inside out and take a picture of the label part of it, and somehow using this AI technology, it adds them together and actually makes it look like it's on a mannequin. So if at this point I didn't have autoRetouch, this is how I would be using it on Photoshop myself. I would pick the same product photo that I've just used, and then to do a quick comparison, autoRetouch probably took around 10 seconds to remove their background. So I'm gonna go through the process that I would normally go through and just do a quick comparison in the same time frame. So I'm gonna select this, make sure everything's selected, and then I'm gonna copy and paste it and remove that background. So as you can see, this is my version. And then if you go around the edges, I definitely do some quick cleanup on this if I was gonna present it on my website, but it's not a bad job. Then if we go and take a look at autoRetouch, wow, yeah, you can see the edges are a lot smoother. and it definitely did the job. Bearing in mind that on auto retouch I could do around 50 of these at the same time, I think it might be a better idea than Photoshop in this case.
Are these the images that came from it?
Yes.
Dude, these actually look pretty decent. They actually look pretty good. Where's yours? Where's the one that you took?
This is just my quick one.
There's a couple of different things that are. Put the auto retouch one again. Oh,
Yeah.
dude. No, that's actually pretty cool.
Obviously, this isn't how I would present it.
Right.
But I was trying to do it in a quick time comparison.
Right. So like you spent maybe 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes?
No, I spent 10 seconds removing my background.
Oh, you did 10 seconds,
Yeah.
and then you compared it to auto retouch's 10 seconds, or 2 seconds or something that it does. But how much time would you have spent if you were to try to actually...
If I was doing it properly,
Yeah.
5-10 minutes.
5 to 10
like
minutes.
to get it like absolutely perfect and touch up any little things here and there to get these little patches in these areas and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. No, honestly, guys, autoRetouch is a great platform for those of you guys who are doing repetitive images, right? So when it comes to e-commerce, that's why we mentioned like setting up a setup where you could just drop your products and now you could take quick photos of every new item that you're bringing into your collection. And autoRetouch is a great resource to help remove those backgrounds, or if you have any skin blemishes, or they have a couple of different edits in the background that you can just kind of bulk and it does automatically. So it's great for those types of images. It's also really cool because there's no subscription or any like monthly fee that you have to pay. It's as simple as pay as you go, and the images start at like 10 cents to...
I think these ones were 10 cents an image, yeah.
10 cents an image. So they got a couple of different prices in order for you to, you know, be able to do it in bulk at a price that's affordable to you. And then the biggest takeaway from this is that you can get started for absolutely free. autoRetouch comps you on a couple of those cents. They get you for like 30, 50 cents. You could try out a couple of the different photos, prove it for yourself that you like it, that you want to use it, and then you can invest in it as you set up your next photo shoot for your collection. So make sure you get started by clicking on the links right down below, and make sure you guys subscribe to this channel and turn on those post notification bells to be alerted if future video drops. Yayan, I appreciate you for coming on this video, man.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure people are gonna have a lot more questions about things, so we're probably gonna bring you into another video. What do you say?
Another one.
Another one.
I'm on 2 in a row right now.
2 in a row. I think people are really gonna appreciate your expertise and knowledge, and
just know I'm a lot better than this at Photoshop than this video.
I don't know if he is. He didn't prove it right now.
Oh, come on. I like... I'll go back into this. I'm like, this Hot Ones thumbnail.
All right.
This video just came out yesterday, so if you don't go and watch it, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, go check out the video that he recently did. He did all the graphics and animations and really powerful hitting video where we dive into a little bit more personal items so you guys can get to know us a little bit more about what our mission, cause, and where this all began. So appreciate you guys and see you in that one.